Breaking news: Iranian general takes control. That headline is flashing across television screens worldwide. Sirens are sounding in major cities as people gather around newsstands and digital feeds. The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway that's, honestly, vital to the world's oil supply, is now the focus of international attention. The situation is tense, and every second really does count. Just hours ago, new military video was released, showing a tense standoff between the U.S. Navy and Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps ships. The footage is raw and dramatic, capturing the growing danger. Reporters are scrambling for updates as world leaders call for calm. Onlookers can see the flashing lights of warships and hear the echo of sirens in the distance. There's a sense of urgency, uncertainty, and, frankly, fear. The world watches, holding its breath as this crisis unfolds. The headline is clear: a new Iranian general has taken control. The risk of open conflict is higher than ever before. The night was pitch black, but U.S. Navy destroyers moved in with precision. Deck lights swept across the waves as American sailors readied for anything. The air was thick with tension, radios crackling with orders and updates. Every crew member knew the risks as they approached Iranian waters. Suddenly, spotlights locked onto a suspicious vessel. The IRGC patrol boats drew closer, moving quickly and silently. U.S. sailors stood at their posts, hands on their weapons. All stations, prepared to engage, came the calm but urgent command over the loudspeaker. As the ships drew near, the U.S. Navy issued a warning: turn away or be disabled. The IRGC boats kept coming, engines roaring. In response, a U.S. Navy helicopter flew low, shining a bright beam onto the water, making the Iranian boats slow down. Tensions peaked as the IRGC boats finally turned back. The U.S. Navy's presence was strong, but the risk of a clash was real. Early this morning, U.S. Naval Command intercepted an Iranian cargo ship near the shipping lane. The U.S. gave clear warnings by radio: stop your engines and prepare for inspection. But the Iranian ship continued forward, ignoring repeated calls. The situation quickly became dangerous. The U.S. Navy decided to act. Using a new electronic device, they sent a jamming signal. The ship's engine sputtered and stopped, leaving it drifting in the calm but tense sea. U.S. Marines boarded the vessel, searching for weapons or military cargo. The boarding was swift but professional, with no shots fired. On deck, the Marines found nervous crew members, but no signs of illegal cargo. The inspection ended quickly, and the Marines left. The Iranian ship's crew looked shaken but unharmed. This show of force sent a message: the U.S. is ready to act, but it wants to avoid unnecessary conflict. The situation changed dramatically when a new Iranian general took control. Major General Reza Najad, now in charge of all IRGC operations in the strait, is known for his strict tactics. He quickly ordered his ships to tighten the blockade, increasing pressure on U.S. and allied vessels. General Najad's rise has complicated diplomatic efforts. Talks between U.S. and Iranian diplomats have become tense and emotional. Iranian representatives say they will defend their waters at any cost. The U.S., meanwhile, has called for restraint and respect for international law. Diplomats from the United Nations have rushed to the region. They hope to calm both sides and avoid a wider war. Every word from General Najad is watched closely by world leaders and news reporters alike. General Najad's leadership is now a key factor in whether the crisis will end peacefully or spiral out of control. Over the weekend, the Strait of Hormuz was a battlefield. IRGC boats set up new blockades, forcing commercial ships to turn back or wait for hours. Several oil tankers reported being harassed by small, fast boats. One tanker captain said, "They circled us with guns pointed. We were afraid for our lives." The U.S. and its allies sent more ships to the area. They worked to keep the shipping lanes open, sometimes using warning shots to push IRGC boats away. The skies buzzed with drones, watching every move below. The world's oil supply was at stake, and every decision could affect millions. International leaders sent urgent messages to both sides. The United Nations called for an immediate ceasefire. The European Union said all parties must show restraint. But the risk of a mistake causing a larger war remained high. As night fell, the world waited anxiously for news. Would the fighting stop, or would it only get worse? Satellite data shows heavy traffic in the strait. In the past 24 hours, at least 36 ships changed course to avoid blockades. U.S. Navy destroyers have formed a protective ring around key shipping lanes. IRGC boats have been seen weaving between larger ships, testing the limits of U.S. patrols. The U.S. Navy released a statement: We are committed to ensuring free navigation for all commercial vessels. Any threats will be met with a strong response. Iran's IRGC replied, "We will protect our sovereignty at any price. Foreign warships must leave our waters." Both sides have sent new reinforcements. The US has moved more aircraft carriers into the region. Iran's naval forces have set up new observation posts along the coast. The world's media is watching every move. The facts are clear. The situation is changing quickly, and the risk of direct conflict is high. Ceasefire talks began in a tense atmosphere. US diplomats met with their Iranian counterparts in a secure room at the United Nations. The main subject: how to de-escalate the crisis and end the blockade. Both sides brought long lists of demands and conditions. Iran insists that all foreign warships leave the area before it will consider ending the blockade. The US demands that Iran stop its aggressive actions and allow ships to pass freely. There is little trust on either side. Negotiators work late into the night, looking for a breakthrough. Observers say progress is slow. There are still deep disagreements, one UN official said. But both sides know the cost of failure is high. The world waits for even small steps forward. With each passing hour, the risk of a wider conflict grows. The outcome of the talks remains uncertain. Military experts have been quick to analyze the unfolding events. Retired Admiral James Porter commented, "The US Navy is using a careful mix of strength and restraint. The goal is to avoid war but stay ready for any surprise." He noted the importance of keeping shipping lanes open for the world's economy. Another expert, Professor Sarah Mahmood from the Naval War College, said, "Iran's new commander is testing US patience and global resolve. The IRGC wants to show that it controls the strait, but this increases the risk for everyone." She warned that even a small mistake could spark a bigger fight. Both experts agree that technology and intelligence are key. Drones and satellites are watching every move. "Information is power in this standoff," said Porter. Mahmood added, "Negotiators need good information to avoid misunderstandings. Their advice: remain calm, keep talking, and prepare for all possible outcomes." This crisis has shown the power of new military technology. US drones patrol the sky day and night, sending real-time video back to command centers. They can spot small boats, track ship movements, and warn officers of any surprise attacks. Infrared cameras pick up heat from engines, even in the dark. Electronic jamming devices can stop a ship's engine from miles away. These tools give the US military a huge advantage, allowing quick, smart decisions. Iran's IRGC is also using new technology. Speedboats use stealth tactics to avoid radar. They jam radio signals and use decoy lights to trick drones. Both sides race to outsmart each other, showing how modern warfare is changing fast. The battle for control is not just about ships and soldiers. It is about who can use technology best. As the sun rises over the strait, the world waits for the next move. The latest ceasefire talks have a strict deadline: midnight tonight. If no deal is reached, both sides have warned they will take new action. The tension is almost unbearable. US officials say their forces are ready for any response. "We hope for peace, but we are prepared for war," said a senior Navy officer. Iranian commanders sound just as determined. "We will defend our waters to the last ship," General Nejad declared. People in nearby cities stay awake, listening for news. Oil markets are on edge, and shipping companies delay their journeys. The risk of a wider war hangs over everyone. Tonight, the world will learn if diplomacy can win, or if the battle in the Strait of Hormuz is just beginning.